Welcome back to the show, anglers. Today we're diving deep into one of the most versatile and effective techniques in bass fishing, the shaky head. This method is especially deadly in tough conditions when bass are playing hard to get. We'll be exploring the nuances of shaky head fishing, from selecting the right gear to understanding the subtle techniques that will have you reeling in bass like a pro. Let's start by breaking down what exactly a shaky head setup entails. At its core, it's a finesse technique that revolves around a specialized jig head and a soft plastic worm. But there's more to it than just threading a worm on a hook. The real magic of the shaky head lies in its presentation. The goal is to create a slow, subtle, and enticing action that triggers those sluggish largemouths. Renowned angler Randy Blaukat, in his Intuitive Angling series, advocates for a less is more approach. He emphasizes the importance of letting that bait settle on the bottom and then gently shaking the rod tip, creating those irresistible vibrations that bass find hard to resist. Speaking of Blaukat, he's a big believer in using lighter jig heads for shaky head fishing. He prefers a 16-ounce head for most situations, finding it offers the most natural fall and helps him avoid snags, particularly around rocky areas. He rarely goes above a 1/8-ounce head, as he feels anything heavier strays away from the finesse aspect of the technique. Now, another expert angler, the Horse Monty, shares Blaukat's affinity for lighter heads, but stresses the importance of adjusting to wind conditions. He suggests bumping up to a 3/16-ounce head if the wind picks up to maintain that crucial bottom contact and control over your bait. Let's take a little break and take care of our sponsors. The Shaka OG Fishing Podcast is first brought to you by Poly Fishing Company. Tired of losing that monster fish at the last second? Sick of those flimsy hooks bending like twigs? Introducing Polynesian Steel, the only hooks forged in the fiery heart of Mauna Loa, blessed by the spirits of the ocean, and guaranteed to land that trophy fish. Our hooks are so strong, they could snag a mermaid's tail, not that we recommend it. 99% hookup ratio, or your money back, and we'll even throw in a complimentary coconut. Land that whopper with Polynesian Steel, where strength meets sorcery. And by Blackbeard Boats. Tired of getting tossed around like a rogue wave in your flimsy, barnacle-encrusted tub? At Blackbeard Boat Company, we build boats that'll make Poseidon himself weep with envy. Our vessels are as sleek as a kraken and as tough as a pirate's beard, slicing through choppy waters like a hot knife through butter. Don't settle for less than the baddest boats on lakes today. Blackbeard Boats, built for plundering, guaranteed to turn heads and maybe a few fish. Yo ho ho. Okay, we are back. So, we've got our head weight sorted out. What about the soft plastic worm? Well, both Blaukat and the Horse Monty have a few go-to choices that consistently produce results. Blaukat favors the Zoom Trick Worm and Zoom Finesse Worm, especially in clear water or when targeting pressured bass. He highlights the importance of rigging the worm correctly, ensuring the hook point is exposed for solid hook sets, unless fishing in snaggy areas where a slightly weedless presentation is necessary. The Horse Monty, on the other hand, has an impressive arsenal of shaky head worms. His top picks include the Zoom Finesse Worm, Zoom Trick Worm, Yum Dinger, Fish Doctor, and the Zoom Speed Craw. He even shares a little secret weapon, a bait he believes not many anglers are using, the Fish Doctor, which he describes as a super finesse option that consistently gets bites. One of the key takeaways from both Blaukat and the Horse Monty is that shaky head fishing is all about patience and finesse. You're not trying to aggressively hop the bait off the bottom. Instead, it's about maintaining that subtle, almost crawling action along the bottom. Remember, the majority of strikes on a shaky head come within the first few feet of the bait hitting the bottom. So pay close attention as your line sinks and be ready to react to those subtle bites. Now, once you feel that telltale tick or see your line moving off, don't rush the hook set. Blaukat recommends a slightly delayed hook set, letting the fish swim with the bait for a few feet. This gives them time to get the bait fully in their mouth, resulting in more solid hookups. The Horse Monty adds an extra layer of finesse to the hook set, suggesting a gentle sweep set, similar to how you'd set the hook with a Carolina rig. This avoids ripping the bait away from a tentative bass. We've covered a lot of ground today, folks, but hopefully this episode has given you a solid foundation in shaky head fishing. Remember, this technique is all about embracing the slow and subtle approach. Be patient, pay attention to your line, and don't be afraid to experiment with different jig heads, worms, and colors. Until next time, tight lines and good fishing.